Welcome back to part 5. We will talk about semantic HTML as well as layouts with cascading style sheets. Why is it called semantic HTML? It's because the elements have meaning. Nav stands for navigation, section stands for a section of the content, and footer is, let's say, to carry copyright information. So here we see a fragment of index.html. We have a div, which is a division of for layout. Under this div, we have the nav and sections. Nav consists of a whole lot of links, 3 links actually, and section just says click on the links to show a fruit. And we have a footer following that. So let's see how we lay it out with CSS. Notice that div has nav and section, and the ID of this div is called main content. So this is the CSS to say, for ID having main content, make the display attribute flexible. Flexible means it will lay out elements within the div in a row. So nav and section are thus placed on a row. Within nav, we have flex as well, but the direction is column. Therefore, elements within the nav are placed in a column. So all the links are placed in a column vertically. When you run the code, this is what you see. And if you click on it, it shows apples and this long text, which is the standard across. Let's have a look at it. Section 5, index.html, apples, you get apples, pears, oranges, back to pears, apples. Let's see how it works. It works through JavaScript, of course. So within index.html, there's a script module. And within this script module, here's a constant, lorem ipsum, consists of this long text, and a function called the navigation handler or nav handler. 24 through 37 defines the nav handler. 38 is where the nav handler is executed. It's actually activated. So this query selector, all, selects all A elements that are under nav. So these are all the links. So nav is an array or list of links. And fs is a query selector, the first one that has an element with attribute data fruit. So that square bracket stands for attribute. What's the attribute? Attribute is here. Section data fruit attribute. That's an attribute. Like href is an attribute. This href has a content of /apples. This one has no content, just an attribute, an empty attribute, but still an attribute. So we now have caught hold of all the links and the fruit section. For each link in nav, we add a click event listener. And when you click on it, an event is generated. I call this event EV. You can call it anything. Some people like to use E, or some people type out EVENT, event. I call it EV. First thing you do is prevent default, because when you click on the link, it wants to go to a different web page. EV prevent default makes it stay on the same page. Then you have fs inner HTML equals empty string. That has the effect of clearing out the fruit section, erasing everything in the fruit section. Now we create a new element, which is a h2 new element, and we call it header. And the text content of header should be EV target. What does EV target mean? EV is an event. The target of the event is actually the anchor, the A element, text content. So what is, let's say, for pairs, That's the href. The text content is pairs. So what this JavaScript says is make the text content of the header the same as the text content of the link. And the last section is append to the fruit section both the header and the lorem ipsum text. And that's why you have this capability. Thank you.